Today we explore the gateway to the invaders of India, the Khyber Pass. This ancient pass has been the crossroads of empires, the path of conquerors, and a vital link between Central and South Asia. Who holds the Khyber has the front door keys to India. Historically, the pass has been a strategic military route used by various empires, including the Persians, Greeks, Mongols, and the British.
Kipling described the Khyber Pass as a sword cut through mountains.
In ancient history, this route saw Alexander the Great and his 30,000 hoplites marching in formation, dreaming of conquering a mystical new land on the edge of the world. Before we delve into the pass, it's important to understand the geography and orient ourselves as to the landscape surrounding the Khyber Pass. The pass is one of 5 significant passes that link the Indian subcontinent to Central Asia and Persia. The others located in importance are the Bolan Pass, located in Baluchistan. This pass connects the region with Afghanistan and has been a key route for centuries. The Gomel Pass, this links Afghanistan with Pakistan's Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, specifically connecting Ghazni in Afghanistan with Dera Ismail Khan in Pakistan. The Khojak Pass, situated in Baluchistan, this pass connects Pakistan with Afghanistan and is known for its railway tunnel. And finally, the Chaman border crossing between Afghanistan and Pakistan, which is located in Baluchistan. With the majority of passes located south in Baluchistan, the Khyber Pass was seen as the most direct and important gateway to the Punjab and the subsequent heartland of India. Armies passing through the Khyber could avoid the scorching climate of Baluchistan or the endless Lut Desert of southeast Persia. The Khyber Pass itself is a mountain pass located within the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province of modern-day Pakistan, on the border with Afghanistan, and previously on the edge of British India, in which a permanent garrison occupied the various forts or stations within the pass from around 1849 until 1947, nearly 100 years of British occupation. The pass stretches about 33 miles or 53 kilometres from Jamrud, Pakistan to Torkham, Afghanistan. The highest point of the pass is at Landi Kotal, which is 1,070 metres above sea level. The pass winds through cliffs of shale and limestone that are 600 to 1,000 feet high, and at its narrowest point the pass is only 600 feet wide. The region around the pass is arid, with sparse vegetation. The Khyber has been a key trade route between Central Asia and the Indian subcontinent for centuries, and was part of the ancient Silk Road, facilitating trade between East Asia and Europe. The British permanently garrisoned the pass from the end of the 1840s until 1947, and who organised a bi-weekly travel schedule for trade caravans to move through the pass, escorted by the Khyber Rifles. The area is inhabited by Pashtun or Pathan tribes, most notably the Afridis, who have historically controlled the pass. Peppered with boulders and caves, it is an ideal landscape to launch ambushes or snipe at travellers passing through in trade caravans.
If a single traveller endeavours to make his way through, wrote Mount Stuart Elphinstone in 1809, the noise of his horse's feet sounds up the long narrow valleys, and soon brings the Khyberis in troops from the hills and ravines. If they expect a caravan, they assemble in hundreds, and sit patiently, with their matchlocks in their hands, watching its approach. Those unwilling to pay have to run a gauntlet of sniping behind scores of sangars, the stone fortifications built by the Afridis on the heights, and massed onslaughts by the tribal armies called Lashkars, from points of ambush at nearly every bend in the narrow, winding road.
Because of this security threat, a series of forts were built throughout the pass by various rulers. The most iconic and imposing was the Jamrud fort, which sits at the mouth of the Khyber Pass, guarding the entrance to Peshawar. Built by Sikh general Hari Singh Nalwar, the fort overlooks the Grand Trunk Road, the main trade route into the pass. As you can see, the Jamrud fort dominates the landscape. Any invader coming from the Khyber Pass would have to pass through Jamrud on the way to Peshawar. Built by the Sikhs in 1836, the Afghans attacked the fort in the Battle of Jamrud in 1837, and a few years later it was occupied by the British after the Anglo-Sikh Wars of the 1840s. Until 1947, the site was occupied by the British military, who then handed it over to the Pakistani military. It's also located next to the iconic Bab-e Khyber monument, which means Gate of Khyber. Jamrud Fort was famous for its 3-foot thick walls. Overlooking the Grand Trunk Road, the fort was meant to intimidate and overawe any travellers or outsiders coming into India. Jamrud Fort became so well known that the India General Service Medal 1908, on its reverse, used imagery of the Jamrud Fort. The Battle of Ali Masjid is recorded on a clasp as a battle honour on the Afghanistan Medal. Ali Masjid Fort, named after a local mosque, was built in 1837 by the Afghan Emir Dost Muhammad Khan. It's strategically located at the narrowest point of the Khyber Pass, about 600 metres. It was captured in 1839 and again in 1878 by the British. The fort was ceded to the British in 1879 in a peace treaty with the Afghans, along with the remaining parts of the Khyber Pass that were controlled by the Afghans. Pathan tribes would come here to receive their annual government allowances to keep the pass open and travellers free from harassment. A dark day for the British Empire occurred in August 1897, when the fort was captured from the Khyber Rifles for 3 days during a Pathan uprising. The survivors had to fall back to Jamrud Fort, and it took the British 4 months and up to 44,000 troops to repacify the region. Landi Kotal Fort was a key fort of the British and was defended by the Khyber Rifles, an iconic regiment for any medal collector. The fort was captured briefly for about 3 or 4 days in August 1897 when Afridi Pathans surprised the garrison and took over the fort. Heavy fighting in the landscape and vicinity around the fort also occurred during the Third Anglo-Afghan War in 1919. This was due to a border incursion by the Afghan army. Shagay Fort was built by the British in 1927 and is now the modern HQ of the Khyber Rifles. The pass became so famous that British soldiers stationed there in the early 20th century would send postcards of the area back to their families in England. The narrow-gauge Khyber Pass Railway, built during British rule in 1925, is a notable engineering feat. Sadly, it fell out of use in 1982 and has been in a state of disrepair ever since. A fascinating reminder of the decades British regiments stood holding vigil over the pass are the dozens of regimental plaques etched into the cliff faces of the Khyber, a memorial left by the soldiers themselves as a testament to their sacrifice on the Empire's most remote and dangerous frontier.